What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of RC Overload. And yes, today we're still continuing on with the ECX Barrage. I got like one more video to do after this. But today I wanted to specifically talk about the new wheels and tires that I put on this. They are sick. It's going to be a perfect setup for this truck. But before we do that, let's just get in through the intro before I forget to put that in there. So, like I was saying, I have a brand new set of wheels and tires for this ECX Barrage, which I'm really excited to try and to see how well it actually does. But before I get into that, I do want to mention to those of you that may be getting this truck to beware, because this truck is very, very light, and the tires out of the box just aren't the greatest. So that is one of probably the biggest upgrades that you're going to want to do to the ECX Barrage. Thankfully, while I was in the middle of rebuilding mine and I was trying to come up with a way to add in a little bit more weight to the truck overall, Proline Racing had just come out with their new set of aluminum Bead-Loc wheels and a set of brass rotor weights to go with them to add in a little bit more lower center of gravity and add some extra traction to the wheels by adding that weight in there as well. So, what wheels did I exactly get? Picking up the Proline Racing Pro Forged Impulse 1.9 wheels. Now, Proline Racing does offer two different versions of their aluminum wheels, and they do come in a couple of different colors. Now, the Impulse wheels do come in what's called the clear aluminum, which is the ones that I have right here, but they also come in a bronze color as well. They also have their Fault Line aluminum Bead-Loc wheels, which comes in the clear aluminum and a gunmetal aluminum color, which I think is really cool, because I like gunmetal. Maybe I should have gotten those. Nah, this works. But yes, these are true aluminum Bead-Loc wheels. There is no plastic in them whatsoever. You do have the 16 screws per side that you have to put this together with. Which is always a pain, but it works so much better than anything else out there. It does hold the bead in there a lot better than anything else. Having a true Bead-Loc style is what I mean. Now, with these wheels, they do feature a 6-lug mounting setup to it. So what do I mean by that? For those of you that don't know, you don't use just the single nut to hold the wheel on. You actually need a 6-lug hex adapter. Now, Proline Racing does make a standard 6-lug hub adapter that will work with these, so you can mount them up. And it also features some cool little indents so you can mount up their new brass rotor weights to it without having an issue. But we'll get into that here momentarily. Talking a little bit more about the aluminum Bead-Loc wheels, they are 2 millimeters wider than that of their original Fault Line and Denali wheels, the plastic ones that they got. However, it does keep the same offset, so you don't have to really worry too much about that. As a little side note, I do want to mention that these were extremely easy to mount up to the wheels, these BFGs. Normally, when I'm mounting up tires to Bead-Loc wheels, I tend to run into a small issue of the bead popping out, or it just doesn't sit flush 100%. I didn't run into that issue whatsoever. These were probably the easiest Bead-Loc wheels to work with mounting up these tires. I didn't have to do anything special or any special locking down method. I actually tried a whole bunch of different ways of mounting them up, and I didn't run into a single issue. Every single bead is sitting perfectly in there. So Proline Racing definitely took some time to make sure that their tires were going to work well with it. So, talking real quick about the Hex Adapters, like I had mentioned, they do feature indents inside of it so you can mount up their new brass rotor weights. They are a standard 6-lug hub adapter set, and they are 12 millimeters. So they will work with all 12 millimeter hex nuts. However, if you are not using their brass rotor weights, you should be able to find most standard 6-lug hub adapters will work with these. Like I said, most, not all 6-lug hub adapters are the same. As far as which ones will work with it, I can't tell you for sure because I did not try them out, so I'm being honest in telling you that right now. As far as these new brass rotor weights go, they are phenomenal. They don't add a lot of weight, but they are too little a weight, I should say. Each weight weighs about 2.3 grams, and if you did what I did and install them in all four corners of the truck, you're looking at about 9.2 grams overall added onto the truck, which for this 12th scale crawler is perfect. It's the amount of weight that I wanted to add to this without getting overly crazy about it, and, well, actually I should just say help keep the center of gravity really low on it. So overall, with the new aluminum wheels and their brass rotor weights, the center of gravity in general of this truck is going to be so much better than it was from the factory. Plus, you're going to get a lot more traction. Even if you were to use the stock tires, you're going to get a little bit more traction out of it in general, just from having that weight helping to push down on the tire a little bit. Now, what's also cool is they made sure to add in those little groove marks in the brass rotor weights to give it that scaled appearance behind the rim of that of a rotor, which is cool. Anything to help with the scalability of these trucks is always awesome. Talking about scale, I decided to actually put on a set of BFG all-terrain 1.9 tires that I had laying around here. Honestly, I had them for quite some time trying to figure out what project I was going to use them with. However, they were just a little too small for anything that I was doing at the time. Until this project arrived and I realized that it was going to be a perfect fit. Now, the actual size of these tires are 4.35 inches tall and 1.42 inches wide. So they aren't a large tire by any means, but they are a little bit bigger than that of a Class 1 tire. So using them on this thing, as you can see, it's actually like a perfect fit. It works within the wheel wells for this 12th scale, while still making it look actually like a large tire, where that if you were to use it on a 10 scale, they'd be a little bit smaller. Now, the BFGs have been around for a while. They've been tried, true, and tested, and they work phenomenal in pretty much any situation or surface that you could be running on. They look exactly like the full-scale full-size BFG tires. They have the same tread pattern and everything, and again, they are very scale, even down to the detail of the sidewalls that are on them. Now, you guys have noticed that the white walls are white on mine. They do not come from the factory, from Proline Racing, I should say that way. I actually painted the white walls up on it, and it can be done very easily. And for those of you looking to do that, all you need to do is pick up a paint pen from that of a craft store or even a hobby store and just paint the letters on it as well. Now, they do feature the lettering on the sidewalls, I want to say, on this. On one side do stick out, where the other ones don't really stick out. So make sure you're looking for the sidewall that the letters do stick out if you want to make them have the white wall effect. Now, the tires do feature a G8 compound, so the rubber is a lot better than that of the factory tires that are on it. So in general, just having these tires on there will be a huge performance upgrade to the crawler and being able to go over different surfaces and obstacles that it may encounter, especially with my son driving. So overall, that honestly is pretty much it. All new aluminum Bead-Loc wheels from Proline Racing with their brass aluminum wheel weights, which is phenomenal. Again, they don't weigh a lot. From what I can tell on this, you notice the weight a little bit down low, which is what they're supposed to, but it's not a lot of weight. So it helps still keep the truck a little bit light. Shouldn't overwork the motor by having too much weight in the truck. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. If you want to know more about these wheels, tires, and wheel weights, I will make sure there's links in the description box for you guys as well. And don't forget, you can save 10% at Proline Racing by using the coupon code RCOverload10 at checkout. So make sure you do that. Do it now. And that's it for today, you guys. So until next time, I will see you on the next RC Overload. Later.